Hello and welcome to a new video on Nintendo Primary. I know it's been a while, but I was pretty busy in real life, so I couldn't make a new video. Originally I wanted to talk about the Nintendo NX delay in quotation marks and Nintendo not showing NX at E3. But then I saw Terminator Juice making a video or live streaming and asking people, why have you been mad about NX not being at E3? Because no matter when they're going to show it, it will still release in March. Whether they show it at E3 or later, it doesn't really matter. So in this video I'm going to answer that question. If you have not heard about Terminator Juice's channel, you should check it out. He has this awesome podcast called The Juice is Loose, which actually focuses on video games and having fun. It is one of my favorite podcasts, and if you're looking for a podcast that is no bullshit and actually talks about games and not about sales figures or stupid ass rumors the whole time, this is the podcast you should check out. With that being said, there are three major reasons why fans were upset about Nintendo not showing NX at E3. Number one being last year's E3, which was pretty disappointing. But people gave Nintendo a pass because everyone basically was assuming that Nintendo's developers have already moved on to NX. The second reason why people were or still are upset is because of all the rumors that came out in the recent month. Especially in the last few weeks, we had dozens of rumors, and with every rumor, the NX was a very different machine. And a lot of people thought if they show it at E3, we finally know what NX is, and the dumb rumors can finally stop. Now we have a few more months probably of stupid ass rumors coming out and probably being wrong. The third reason is that Sony is likely going to show the PS4 Neo at E3, Microsoft is rumored to show a new Xbox, and now Nintendo is showing up at E3 while developing new hardware that launches in March, but they refuse to show it. Which probably makes some people think Nintendo will be completely overshadowed this E3, because yes, while Zelda is a big title and will get some attention, nothing gets as much attention as a new console. However, those aren't really new consoles, those are new iterations of existing consoles, though the new iterations might not be as big of a draw as we make it out to be right now, but who knows. But Zelda could be a title that gets all the attention if it is as revolutionary as it could be, and Aonuma has always said he's going to change the formula of Zelda, because every Zelda after Ocarina of Time has basically been using the same formula, so it's going to be interesting to see where he's going with this new Zelda. But I also agree that Nintendo will not come to E3 and only have Zelda. It might be the only playable game, but we will get new information and trailers for, let's say, Dragon Quest on 3DS, for Monster Hunter Generations, for Metroid Prime Federation Force, and a few other titles, and maybe some announcements for 3DS games or even smaller Wii U games as a little surprise, so this year will not be as dry as it looks right now. But it's really hard to judge what's going to happen. And I have to admit I was mad at first when I read that NX won't be at E3, but thinking about it, launching in March and having a really short time span between revealing the console and launching it can end up being pretty beneficial for Nintendo if they do it right. If I were Nintendo, I would do the following. I would have an unveil in June, maybe end of June, which focuses only on the hardware, the specifications and the controller and why would I buy this console, what is new about it, why is it awesome, why do I need it. If they nail that, that would be pretty good. And after that, they could have a press event coupled with the Nintendo Direct in October, where a lot of NX games will be announced alongside third-party titles and indie titles. And in January 2017 we could have another event where Nintendo will outline all the launch details like launch titles, price, launch date, etc. If they play it out like this and keep NX a topic for gamers to talk about, then this could be really beneficial. And another thing I was thinking about earlier this week, that it might not be Nintendo who needs more time for software. It could be that third-party developers are the ones who need more time. Imagine Nintendo comes to E3 with NX, and Nintendo's titles, and a new F-Zero is announced, a new Metroid, and God knows what is announced. And everybody is happy about Nintendo's first-party games. But if they go to E3 and they only have like 2 or 3 third-party games coming, and X will start out of the gate being another console with no third-party support. But by launching in March, they skip this year's holiday, launch the console in March, and give developers enough time to bring the yearly franchises to the console by the end of 2017. And I think it is in Nintendo's interest to really avoid any of the stuff that went wrong with Wii U, including no third-party support. Well, I think that covers everything. And again, if you haven't checked out Terminator Juice's channel, I'll leave a link in the description, and make sure you check out his podcast, The Juice is Lewis, which is always amazing, because those guys in the podcast really focus on having fun and actually talk about video games, and not talk an hour about sales charts or stupid ass rumors or something like that. So if you are looking for a podcast which focuses strictly on games and having fun, this is the podcast you should listen to. And that's it from me. Thanks for listening, and excuse my shitty accent. English isn't really my native language, as you probably heard. And I hope I didn't sound too horrible, but that's it from me. Like this video if you liked what I had to say, or dislike it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Bye.